A debate for another day. Start of the final term then. 74 plays 42. Carlton in all sorts of trouble. Gibbs swings it towards the outer side. Tracking it back is Jeddah. Coming across on the angle is Tui. Tui did well, wanted it more. And the ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a throw in. There's the dot.
Oh, probably could have got him at a better moment, couldn't we?
Oh, well.
It's a big cigar.
It's not permanent, is it?
Making me feel hungry. We'll have a ball up on the outer side. That was a sausage roll, wasn't it?
Well, I thought it was a Cuban cigar.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is he?
No, well, that was one of those unfortunate moments in television. Knocked down by Gibbs. And Carrazzo gets a free kick.
There's that old saying, don't work with children, animals, and sausage rolls. He was stiff then, wasn't he?
Mr. President. There goes the kick long from Carrazzo inside the forward 50. Up goes Cruiser off hands and falls to Grundy. It's going to be a free kick to the Blues.
Oh, the fend off again. The
fend off against Grundy to White. So this is a big kick, not only in the context of this afternoon, Tim, but perhaps the overall.
Yep, and this is the fend off. Grundy's got the ball and he's pushed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, they've been consistent
well,
with that, haven't they?
That's, you're right. They've been consistent.
So, Jared White. That's a beautiful kick. He puts it through. He's got three. His return has been successful. And they edge closer.
Well, if there is anything to be taken out of this from a Blues perspective, the Swans have on a couple of occasions had tardy fourth terms. I think of Essendon here at the Dome, and then the Cats up in Sydney stormed home over them.
Yep.
Another one now, Tim. There'd be just a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, they're going to have to string some goals together for the first time. They haven't been able to kick multiple goals all afternoon, the Blues.
So Brett Ratney watches on, and he hopes that 1 becomes 2 and 3 and 4. 26 points the margin right now. Can they win the clearance? Not quite. Hanbury, little one to Jack onto the right boot. He might just chase after this. Well done. Pushes it forward again. Collins, though, importantly, hands on it for the Blues. Now to Carrazzo. Little one over the top to Tui. He retreats. Two Swans. They attack him in numbers, and he gets pinged. Dennis Lane, the fresh man on the ground for the Swans, quickly squares it up over the top. The tall man in Mumford over the tall man in Cruiser.
And that's how quickly he can turn around. Well, unfortunately, Tui didn't turn around quickly enough here and got himself in a spot of bother. And then everybody's moved up. There's space opens in other parts of the ground, and Sydney move the ball quickly, and Mumford comes down. He's very good shot for goal too, this bloke, from a set shot.
Hasn't played in a losing side yet for the Swans this year. Doesn't look like that will change. The kick is on its way, and the kick is a goal to the Bloods. So as quickly, Dennis, they got it inside 30, it pops out again.
They're meeting every challenge, aren't they? They're just a bit too good, you think. We've talked about the absentees for Carlton. They're not there, and of course those in their stead are lesser lights. They're trying hard, but it doesn't look like the breakthrough is imminent.
Shane Mumford is so important for the Swans if they tend to push more into the finals, and he plays his 50th game today.
Been a good battle, Mumford. Cruiser this afternoon. I think Mumford's probably just shaded Cruiser.
Cruiser wins this one straight into the face of Kennedy. Not 15 the call as it was hacked out of the air Carlton's way. Shaw gave it to Melcheski, goes looking for Goods, missed it. Coming through strongly and doing well, McGuinness goes towards the outer side. Bell has one bounce, runs towards the 50, sends it long down towards full forward, getting back. It's knocked across the line, just short, a couple of metres short, but White often mirrors up. Since we saw Dr. Eddleston, we've had a couple of sausage rolls and now are behind, forced.
Tim, Shane Mumford, game 50, as Kirky said, for the Swans this afternoon. 20 for the Cats. Wouldn't he be handy down at Kardinia Park these days?
He'd be handy anywhere, Hannah.
He's a good player, isn't he?
He's a very good player. Just talking to Kirky about him before the game, actually. There's Teddy just going in after his own ball. About how he plays in all areas of the game in terms of a ruckman, and he's quite happy to give the blokes at ground level a real chop out.
Armfield sends it in, ugly sort of a ball for Casbolt. It goes across in front of him, and Richards again just finds some space. What does the umpire say here? Deliberate. Okay, Eddie Betts, can he find a blue jumper? Top of the square, tough one. Waite, Simpson, Johnson front spot, Malcheski. This is where they're good, the Swans. A chain of handballs, ends up with McVeigh quickly to the outer side. Goods underneath it. Curnow has to wait. Goods just slapped it down to Jetta, off hands it came. And now a chance to Bird. What a beautiful kick. Dennis Lane, he's on his bike. Collins chases him in the middle, free man. McGlynn is he. Over the top quickly to Hanbury. Parker, he misses Parker. Carazzo tries to tackle Parker. Holds his ground, back inside. McGlynn, can he finish it off? Oh, the Swans are having a year. So too is McGlynn. And now they skip away again to 37.
Very compact as McGlynn. Once he got that ball, he didn't look like missing, did he? He's very confident. The hand pass a bit chonky, but made amends. And the run just too much to contain as far as the Blues are concerned.
It's the depth of it, Dennis, isn't it? You look across the field and they've got so many options. I mean, Hanbury gets shut down for a while and somebody else bobs up, and Bolton's off the ground now. It was just a case of numbers here. They just streamed into their forward half once they got control of the ball, Sydney, and it was just a managed. They just had to put the finishing touches to it.
Well put. 37. McVeigh sends it down towards half forward. Opportunity for Davies, the sub. Left it behind. Mike Pike got it. Hanbury. McGlynn changed his mind mid-kick. Hanbury goes back. Matner drives it long. Overshoots any would-be target down there. Out of bounds on the full.
The clearance king, Josh Kennedy's up to 10 clearances. He relishes the inside contest.
Yeah, they've smashed them there too. 35-24 around the ball.
By his lofty standards, though, down on possessions. There's still a while to go. I think he's averaging 27 this season. He's on 21, and that clearing kick goes out of bounds on the full. So it doesn't clear much. White just miscuing. Grundy to send it back inside the 50 for the Swans. What a good defender he's become. Heath Grundy sends a high ball. They compete about 20 metres out. Gibbs, or rather Goods, almost the mark. Offhands, a chance there for Tui. He tries to get it out of there. Very congested, as you can see. It'll take a good man to get it out. And the umpire, I think, will be forced to ball it up. He does.
Adam Goods almost completes the transaction. Not quite. Seen it a lot over the journey, haven't we? He's just a very, very good player. Obvious statement, but a CV that reads like very few others. Murphy, McLean, Collins, Dennis Lane puts a bit of pressure on. He's going to go again at it. Collins, so too. Dennis Lane holds it up. The umpire will bounce. I mean, this Swans outfit. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Well, I reckon if you're forward and you're in that situation, chances are a betting man would say you're going to lose most times. Doesn't matter what you do.
So Collins in the Casbolt direction. I mean, Tim, you like your horse racing. If you're doing form, the Swans' form is very, very good. I mean, they've beaten the Hawks, as we said, in Tassie, Geelong at the SCG, West Coast by 52 over in Perth, North Melbourne, Essendon. They're the wins they've had against the top 8 sides. They lost to the Crows in a belter, and they play Collingwood next week. Whichever way you do the form, they're legitimate, aren't they?
Yep, no, there's no question about that. And I've got one question mark against them and one question mark only.
What's that?
That would be their key forwards, whether or not they're going to be able to stand up in the last month of footy. I mean, we know Goods, they've got a young kid by the name of Sam Reid who's out injured at the moment. They will need him back in the side.
Davies inside 50. Gibbs is going to get the free kick. Go through.
Got an injury concern for the Swans. Mike Pike wobbling off now.
wobbling a little earlier. He stayed out there. This, we assume, completely separate. But Bolton in the repair shop. Now Mike Pike, Sam Reid. He was off last week early going in the first term. So perhaps that's the other question mark. Can they keep all of their players fit, Tim? They've only played 30 players throughout the year. Fewer than any other in the league. The Hawks the next with 33. So Gibbs to try and narrow the 37-point margin. The kick is very good. So we're back to 31, but the Swans have had all the answers all afternoon.
He's had a really interesting afternoon, hasn't he, Gibbs? He started the game on goods as a key defender, and then he got the change in the second quarter, went into the midfield, and I thought he actually gave them some life. You see Mike Pike there just jumping up and down. Might be his ankle, actually. Looks like it's his left ankle. Here's the injury. There's Mike Pike going up. Does he land? I think he landed on the top of Cruz's foot there and just rolled his ankle. So that shouldn't be too serious.
Or a basketball injury, that one, isn't it? Step on someone's foot. What a Mike Pike to come down on your foot too. There's a ball up.
Basketball or a dance floor, depending on your style. I've done some injuries in my time.
The confessions of a clumsy man.
Exactly.
31 points the margin. In front, knocked down by Mumford. He's come back in pretty good form this afternoon. Will be improved by the run. Now it's holding the ball against O'Keefe. No sense of occasion. The umpire, Gibbs, has got it. O'Keefe in game number 250, only the 6th Swan ever. Well, that's a terrible kick. That comes directly onto Matner's chest.
O'Keefe's had 15, Dennis, for the afternoon. He hasn't been one of the better players on the ground. It's been really interesting that when Carazzo went off him, Bell actually went to him. He's a big-bodied midfielder, Bell, and I reckon he's got a really bright future for the Blues.
Grundy sends it beyond the wing. Oh, what a spectacular mark. What an absolute perler there by White. Boy from Subiaco just launched himself and took a beauty. They work it back to McLean. 24 possessions for him now. Goes to the back pocket. McGuinness.
O'Keefe's had 10 tackles, so he's working very hard.
Oh, that is a dangerous kick. Carazzo did okay. Made it look okay. Made it look the right decision. Goes short to Armfield.
Quickly, he looks for Simpson, finds him. Jack just closes in. 31-point margin. 12 to play. Carazzo quite early. Beautiful ball to Waite. Game 150. So debut in game 100 and game 150, all against the Swans, and to date, no joy so far. Scotland now, long ball. Cruiser sets himself. Big fly over the top. In the end, Matner got a hand onto it, spilt to Murphy, tries to get around Shaw. McGlynn, little one inside. Kennedy, did he keep it in? He didn't.
Hey, Kirky, how highly would John Longmire rate that performance? The O'Keefe, that's a great mark there by White. That performance by O'Keefe this afternoon with his 10 tackles.
Well, yeah, they rate defence really highly at the Swans. If he's playing a role taking Carazzo out of the game, that's what they want.
How was that? So slick coming downfield, but nobody to kick to. Comes to Jack. Now, Jack is going to try and bounce this one through, I reckon. No, he gives it to somebody else. Goods. Good storms inside the 50. Kicks. He was off balance when he kicked. Going back is Jetta. Comes off his fingertips and played against the post.
The ball hit the post. Yeah, okay, throw it in.
That's the right decision. Hit his hand and then hit the post. So it'll be tossed in. That was very slick through the midfield, but it broke down simply because of the lack of a target. Gibbs trying hard in this final term, has the ball in the back pocket, sends it wide, but in all directions Sydney leading the race. Well, with the exception of one, he started behind, but Joseph too quick for Goods there. Gathers the football on the boundary, takes the ball on, slips a hand pass away to Carazzo. Carazzo goes in short, and the mark is taken by White.
Garlett, the only Blue inside 50, little one to McLean. Now, Garlett is the only target. That's the way it goes, and that was a terrific kick in the end. Garlett's got Betts leading. Short ball now to Murphy. Well, the Blues natives want 50. It won't come. Mike Pike seems to have The boot back on, but still the limp.
Got a big game next week too, Sydney. Collingwood up there in Sydney.
At ANZ. Not a bad record, the Pies at ANZ. That's the other thing. A home final for the Swans means ANZ, which is probably not what they're hoping remains the case for too long. And Mark Murphy's probably hoping he kicks a little more accurately at goal going forward. So the margin remains 31. The Swans have been outstanding all afternoon. They're experienced players in career best form. The youth starting to get a heap of the football. It's going to take a very good side to beat the Swans this year.
That was a very high kick. Joseph knocks it down. Hanbury in position A, grabs it, kicks it to the wing. Yarran did well. That was a good grab, off balance. Comes across the ground to Davies. Scotland breaks one way. He decides to go short. Bad decision as it turned out. Curnow, it was touched off the boot. Davies went to ground a little too readily. Picked up by Bird. Slips it forward. Missed by Jetta. Still Jetta though. Settles now. Snaps. Hasn't kicked a goal this afternoon. Now he has. Well, there wasn't enough thought put into the kick. Hit the man on the mark. He was really requiring precision there. Just drop it over the man on the mark to the leading player about 20 metres on, but didn't work out that way, and a goal resulted. Caught them on the counter-attack, and players like Jetta, they can really burn when they can smell a goal in their nostrils.
Plenty of X factor about that man, Lewis Jetta. Tim, they are going to be on top of the table again. I think that makes it 8 weeks this season. Who are, in your view, the big threats to this side?
I think Collingwood and Hawthorn are the other two sides that I'd be really concerned about if I was the Sydney Swans.
So the Blues work it to half forward. Murphy is there to the top of the square. Out the back, Casbolt.
So you discount the result on Friday night, Tim?
I reckon Geelong are going to have to work so hard at this end of the season, and then you've got what is the hardest month of football to go after that. So I mean, if the grand final was played right now, yes, I reckon they'd be in contention, but I reckon it's just going to be too much in the end.
No, good.
They've got West Coast in Patterson's, the Saints, the Dogs, and then Sydney at Skilled. Round 23, Casbolt. It's going to be a long month and a half, isn't it? They've been working a long time, the Cats.
Collingwood's been the nemesis for the Swans for the last 5 years. I'm not sure the Swans have beaten them since 2007.
Grundy comes out of the back pocket then, sends it up towards the wing. Parker works his way in front. White got a fist on it. White took a spectacular mark moments ago. That's holding the ball. Free kick to go to Carlton.
He's been good in his comeback game today too, hasn't he, Simpson?
Yeah. Fearless competitor, goes a long way back. McGuinness, not much on the other side either, but he spots a man coming up the middle. That's Armfield. Armfield sees Bell, thought about it, decides not to go. And Joseph just forward of the centre circles as they skirt the perimeter, and the clock continues to run, effectively ending Carlton's chances this afternoon. Oh, and what a terrific mark. Casbolt, that's the sign of a promising youngster there. Missed a goal, probably got angry with himself and goes up in a pack and clutches it. Like to see that.
He can take a big strong mark, can't he? He's a big brute of a kid. This is the area that he'll need to improve on, though. He's got a lot to work with, Casbolt, but his kicking's been astray so far in this game, and he just needs to straighten himself up. That'll be great for his confidence as well.
It's a healthy sign, though. Didn't brood about the miss. Went and got the footy again to try and redeem the situation. And he comes. Better get it again. It goes down towards the pocket. Off hands. Oh, goal! A thief in the night. Goes in and gets the goal. How about that?
You talk about pickpockets. That was quick, decisive, and deceptive.
Maybe Dennis Fagan's back there coaching, is he?
Got to pick a pocket or two, Timmy.
That's extraordinary the way that goal unfolded, wasn't it?
It was all Swans. So almost the toughest road trip in football for the Swans next week. Collingwood at ANZ, home game, but they've lost the last 10, as Kirky just alluded to the Pies. They haven't beaten Collingwood since 2005. Great test next week, and the matches that follow finish with Geelong at Skilled, and they've got Hawks in between. So we know a lot about the Swans in 4 weeks' time. Out the back, Davies picks it up and sends it, hoping for Yaron. Curnow will do. Malcheski happy just to spoil the Blues' day. So a 30-point lead after that Garlett goal sees the Swans in a comfortable position. A game clear on top of the table. Little concern with Jude Bolton, perhaps also with Pike, who finds himself back out on the ground. Reid, you hope, comes back, but other than that, their injury list consists of really only Gary Rowan.
He's impressive, Tom Bell. I know I've said it already this afternoon, but just some of the stuff that he's done just means that, you know, he's going to be around for a while as a Carlton player. He's a big, strong kid too. Desperate.
The Blues, Garlett, Betts over the top to O'Keefe, Matner. The pressure continues from the Blues, and to your point earlier, Brett Ratton can't ask too much more. There's your man.
Well, they wouldn't have played this kid had they not had the injuries, that's for sure. But he's, you know, he's almost key position size. Apparently, he's an animal with the endurance stuff as well. So there's a lot to work with. There he is again, just throwing his body into the contest.
Simpson on the up to Gibbs. O'Keefe was the would-be tackler to the hot spot. Matner, Casbolt, Scotland. Can he do something late? We can, but it's not much use to the Blues.
That's a big story, developing one too. Hopefully he's okay, because very much the engine room. Such an integral part. Boundary throw in. O'Keefe missed it. Comes to Cruiser, not sure how he finished up with it. Grundy under pressure, advances at about 10 metres. Jack falling to the ground, tries to slap it out in the direction of O'Keefe. There's our man again. Bell dragged down, kicks towards goal, and through it goes. And that goes really to the heart of the tanking debate. Now and again you uncover a diamond.
Yep.
And they seem to have done that.
Well, he's a Queensland boy, so he came to AFL football a little bit later than most. So you would think he's probably going to take another couple of years to develop.
Matner very close to the boundary line. I think it's out in the full. It is. So 5.5 minutes to go, and the margin 29 points. Play on's the call. White comes in short to McGuinness. McGuinness from 55 metres out sets it long towards full forward. Well done by Shaw, just coming back with the flight of it. That beard is aerodynamic. He just knocks it back across. It's aerodynamic, not dynamic, and he knocks it back across the line. Johnson's got it.
I believe Shaw's going to keep the beard while they're winning, the Swans.
His beard's almost got its own beard.
Is there a competition going on with him and Malcheski at the moment, Kirky?
Say there is.
No, I don't think so.
McVeigh always sported a beard, sort of led the tribe. Quickly to McGlynn, now to half forward, no one at home for the Swans. So the margin is 28, and here's dangerous territory. Malcheski onto his favoured left. How accurate is he? Not accurate enough.
The only thing that didn't have was a bow on it.
Yep. It was a gift, wasn't it?
Oh, was it what? And that's another area of the game that Carlton really need to clean up. It's just their ball handlers at that part of the ground. They just need to be far more careful than what we've seen on a number of occasions this afternoon when they've tried to kick the ball across ground and get that switch.
Suddenly we're focusing on those beards. I don't know much about the Amish, but I know they're not allowed to have TVs. If they could have TVs, they'd be Sydney supporters, I reckon. On the wing, long kick comes down from White. Going back, being held. Murphy, no free kick. Still Murphy going. Jack works his way in front. They've got 3-on-2 here, the Swans, and they're made to earn it. Well played by Murphy and Waite. Waite pleads a case for deliberate, and he had some justification. So a boundary throw in 93-64.
Dennis, you're working with it, Amish. Why don't you just ask him?
He's got 2 TVs.
You read my mind.
I'm breaking.
Tim, when I want you to talk.
I'm breaking with convention.
Take it away, Amish. I'm determined. Golly.
So McVeigh, so good for so long. He'd be enjoying being a part of this outfit. Here we go. Dennis Lane, how's the speed in the pickup? Off the ground he goes. He's got 3 blues to try and work through. Armfield was really good. Yaron got through a few to Gibbs. Back to Scotland. Not a heap on offer. Jetta closes him down. The kick, well, it was very good on his left. And Scotland's one of those players, Tim. Doesn't matter which side, always uses it well.
He's a real architect, isn't he, across half back, and that's why often sides elect to tag him as a defender, because they know that he's the guy that often sets up their play from that part of the ground.
Well,
there he goes again.
Speaking about beards, Armfield has that moustache that probably should be worn by an older man in potentially a different industry. Quickly, it's worked down to Marcus Davies. He goes long, wait, not quite. Must be frustrating for Jared Waite. His body letting him down over the journey so often. Just game 150 this afternoon.
It's been a good return though, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
14 touches, 7 contested, 8 marks, and he's kicked 3 goals, 1. So it's been a really good return for him.
Your son plays 150 this afternoon. He's 27. You did it when you were 22, and it's Waite's turn this afternoon as a 29-year-old. Something late, perhaps. So he crosses the arc, breaks into a jog and fires. Well, just drifted late. So sort of the afternoon of the Blues. Close, but not close enough. And the Swans will go on to win again. And that man leads the competition. And as we've heard from Kirky, that's when we go out to Beards, won't shave it until something alters with the Swans' form.
Shaw drives it long and high towards the outer side. Pike from behind. McVeigh close to the boundary line. Jetta, chance to release himself here as he tracks the ball. Well, McLean did well there. He matched Jetta stride for stride. Jetta, though, got the football. Comes back to McVeigh. McVeigh, a high ball. They need to destroy it out of bounds. Well, it stays in. Just going through the motions now. Goods, Roberts, Thompson, McGlynn, Hanbury. But in the road, Yaron. Just repeating the news we mentioned earlier. Port Adelaide, we believe, have told Matthew Primus he won't coach the club next season. But they've given him the option to stay until the end of the year. Not sure what his take is on that. Yaron across half back. Finds Bell. Alongside the centre circles, Bell goes for distance. That's a long kick. Battle of strength. Grundy won at that time. Knocked it down in front. Diving after it, Gibbs over the top, O'Keefe. And O'Keefe very careful approaching that football. And there's some of the interpretations with free kicks and the tribunal that I think are having an effect on players' behaviour. That time O'Keefe very conscious of the man falling forward there.
Your man Tom Bell, Tim, just 21. He's got a really big frame, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, he weighs 96 kilos, so he's a big man, and that's as much as nearly some ruckman weigh.
Curnow wins the ball out, goes as far as Jetta, ricochets to Carazzo. Betts just fires it through heavy traffic. Now Casbolt attacks the football. Melcheski, though, ends up with it. Betts on his back, and the handball finds the chalk. And that is a big frame. The shoulders are enormous.
A lot of Carlton people have likened him to Anthony Koutafidis body shape wise. They would like to think that he could be half the player.
Mumford knocked down to McVeigh. Quick kick. Hanbury on the end of it. Spills to Murphy. He gets tackled.
He's back there.
He'll get a shot at goal out of all of that.
If you go back to, say, the 10-minute mark of the second quarter when we thought that they might have been completely blown away, Carlton, it's been a fairly even game since that point in time. I think they slipped outside about 30 points or so. I mean, that's going to be the margin. Yeah, it's going to be inside that. So I think Brett Ratner will be pretty happy with what he's seen from his players this afternoon. Yeah,
they kicked the first 4 of the second term, got it out to 34 points, and it's been within a goal or 2 of that for the rest of the afternoon as Murphy sends it over Jared Waite's head, and the Blues get a late one.
I think after the game, Tim, I might have to ask you about the future of Brett Ratner. Get you on record. What do you think might happen there? Because now they're officially out of the race.
Look at that run home there, Dennis. They've got the Brisbane Lions, winnable game, Essendon, winnable game, Gold Coast Suns and St Kilda. So they'll get Judd back. I think he comes back the week after next.
What would happen there if they won all four? It'd certainly throw a cat amongst the pigeons if the pigeons are thinking other things.
Yeah, well, there's Chris Judd there in the middle of the screen. I think they've got to stick with Ratton.
I want to ask you afterwards then.
And get him on the record twice.
I'm not going to change my mind.
It may not have the impact. We're back in the middle. 93 plays 71. The ruckman really did much there. Murphy. He's made an amazing return. Got it out to McLean. Sends it towards the wing. Carrazzo. So quiet early. Carlton almost played him out of the game. Intent on getting a tag on O'Keefe as the ball bounces down towards half forward. Gathered by McLean again. He's got a career going forward with somebody. Whether it's the Blues or not, I'm not sure. Curnow around the corner. Taken by Smith. Shaw did well. Releases Richards. He'd probably be suited by a club, McLean, not that I'm trying to clear him from the Blues, but by a club like Sydney on the confines of the SCG. 250 ends successfully for Ryan O'Keefe, and Sydney consolidate at the top.